Shame on these officers. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Policing the Police, live on Stand Against Dark Blue, Facebook and YouTube. Listen, comment on this video, like this video, share this video, and we're going to get going. Tonight, we've got typical bully cam of the week. This is Des Moines, Iowa. I swear to goodness, I don't know what cops are thinking. Let's watch this video together. Notice he came to a complete stop. Hasn't committed any traffic violations. Driving seems to be perfect. So far, no reason to stop him. Uses his blinker. Comes to a complete stop. Okay, I'm just tired of waiting for him to do something. Heck. He was black anyway, so let's just stop him for that.
What's going on, guys?
Not much.
What's up?
How you doing, officer?
Is this your car?
Well, it's a rental right now. My car's in the shop.
Okay. Did something break down?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. You guys just came from over at the park, right?
Yeah, we just hanging out.
That's it?
Well, that's what we doing.
Okay. A little teaching here. Used to be, I'm a former police officer. Everybody, most of you that watch this channel know that I worked as a police officer for about a decade. I've been a defense attorney for the last 22 years. You don't talk to the police. Don't answer questions. These are probative questions. There's a reason for his questions. A couple of things I noticed that this gentleman, I like to teach people how to be pulled over by the police. And you say, you mean teach people how to be pulled over by the police? You don't have to teach people how to be pulled over by the police. Yes, you do. You have to teach everybody how to be pulled over by the police because people don't know how to be pulled over by the police. This young man is respectful. But right away, I noticed his hands were kind of in his lap and he already had his seatbelt undone and he hadn't taken it all the way off yet. I encourage people, don't take your seatbelt off until the officer approaches, just in case he thinks you weren't wearing it. You want to have it on. Have your hands at 10 and 2 when you're pulled over by the police until he gets to the window. You can have your window already rolled down so he can talk to you. And that way he knows that you're being respectful with your hands and you're being respectful with police safety. And when he gets to the window and you ask for first thing he's supposed to do is say, "Hello, sir. My name is Officer David Ridings with the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department. The reason I stopped you was..." He doesn't do that here. There's a reason he doesn't do that here. It's because he doesn't have a reason to have pulled him over. He starts to engage with him in just friendly dialogue. So, is this your car? No, it's actually a rental. My car's in the shop. So you guys just coming from the park? Yeah. Just hanging out? That's it? I mean, that's the kind of questions that you just say, "I'm sorry, officer. Is there a reason that you stopped me?" And I mean, you can be polite, but It's time in America to start standing up for your rights. Invoke your rights, as I say here on this channel, early and often. Let's get back to the video.
Is this your car?
I just told you my car is in the shop, officer. This is a rental.
Okay. How do you start it?
What do you mean? I just put my foot on the brake and I put it in drive and I drive, officer.
So it's your car though? Did they give you a fob or something?
It's not my car, officer.
Did they give you a key fob or something?
It's not my car, officer. My car's in the shop. These questions are not to see if he knows how to start the car. What he's wanting eventually him to do. He's got two reasons for asking these questions, for those of you that don't know. Police officers will be inquisitive about things like this. Number one, if he thinks that you've stolen the car's not yours, or you're not being truthful with him, and he's asking you questions about how do you start the car, and you fumble around with that answer, hey, Angel, nice to have you tonight, then of course he knows that it's not really your car. But he's already told him this is a rental car. This is not my car, officer. My car's in the shop. The real reason for him asking these questions is for him to pull out the key fob so the officer can take it. Watch what he does with it.
Yes, sir. Officer.
Like, what does it do? Does it?
You see, that should let you know that it's in.
Oh, yeah. I don't really want to know what does it do. I know what it does. I just was engaging in friendly, tricky conversation with you, so you would pull it out so I could take it from you and set it on the roof. It's a trick. This young man's not, doing this kind of stuff with the police and invoking your rights early and often, like we say here on this channel, is not easy to do. Even for the trained person, it's not easy to do. It's not easy to tell a police officer no. It's not easy to tell a police officer you're not going to answer his questions. They get really defensive when you do that, and sometimes they get downright offensive. Let's watch the rest of this.
Okay. Do you have any weapons on you or in the car?
No, officer.
Okay, can I be honest with you? It smells like marijuana in the car, and I can see shake on the ground. And your buddy's given me the idea that maybe he's got a gun. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think.
How?
I don't know. Just the way. I mean, just the way you're holding yourself, man. Like, that's why we're nervous, man. That's it. I mean, if you're scared because you got a little bit of weed, that'll be one thing.
Officer,
okay.
There's no weed.
Okay.
There's no shake on the floor.
Okay. So there's no shake on the floor.
Officer.
Okay. All right. And you don't have any weapons on you, you said?
Officer, that is correct.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
Why don't you want to get pulled over by the police?
My brother's been pulled over multiple times for doing nothing. I live in Des Moines. I go to work.
You hear this other guy, this passenger over here, says, my brother's been pulled over multiple times for doing nothing. These young men have not been told yet what they did wrong to be pulled over in the first place. Thanks, Xavier. Appreciate you watching. And so far, this officer still has not given him a reason for the stop. This is a pretextual stop. These inquisitive kind of questions are to get information. And in America, you have the right not to speak to the police. And if in America, the police start asking you questions that they intend to use against you in court, and you're in custody like this, you're in custody, you're not free to leave. Custodial interrogations require the police to have read you your Miranda rights. So far, they have not done that here. Nobody has read these young men their Miranda rights. Everybody knows their Miranda rights. Most people know their Miranda rights. Most people can say their Miranda rights. Without this card in front of them, most people can say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney and to have an attorney present during all questioning. If you so desire and cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you at no charge. You can choose to invoke these rights at any time and stop answering my questions. And these rights have not been read to these young men. But they are definitely in what we call now a custodial interrogation.
Okay. You ain't got no weapons on you?
Officer, no, sir.
Go ahead and step out, Montre.
That's what I did.
Yep, I just told you why. 3 times. You want me to recap again?
Officer, look, my hands is up.
Yep, your hands are up, and now I'm asking you to step out of the car.
I gave you my ID.
You gave me your ID.
Go run it.
Yep, I don't want to. I'm not walking away from this car.
Okay. So everybody knows in America, if a police officer asks you to step out of a car, then you're required to do so under the law. He's allowed to ask you to step out of the car, even if he doesn't have reasonable suspicion of a crime. Believe that or not. The courts have held this is an inconvenience, but it's a minor inconvenience when compared to officer safety concerns. So the courts will allow cops to ask you to step out of the car if they want you to step out of the car. They will also allow officers to tell you to remain in the car if they'd rather have you remain in the car. Most of the time, for officer safety reasons, I'd rather have somebody remain in a car until I get up there and assess what's going on. There are exceptions to that. There are some occasions when the car's full of people and you don't know if anybody in there's got a weapon. You might ask the driver to step out and step to the rear of the car. And then if you really have a reason to suspect a felony or something like that, then you do what's called a felony stop. But that's the subject for another video. Let's keep watching.
Officer, can I ask you why?
Yep, because I just told you, step out of the car. If you don't want to go to jail, I would expect you to please listen. I mean, I told you I'm a cop. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Don't flex. Don't flex. I don't know what you're doing, man, but you need to knock that off. Stop pulling on your arms. What's going on, dude? Where are you trying to go? What are you doing, dude?
Officer, I'm not doing nothing to you.
Okay. Well, you're making me think something funny's going on, man.
Come on, man.
You're not under arrest. You're just like pulling away like you're gonna do something silly, and I don't want that. What?
Nothing.
What?
I'm not even gonna.
Okay. Well, you're not under arrest, man. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so slide over here. I mean, your heart is thumping, dude. Like you're beaten.
Officer, don't.
That's absolutely of no importance. Somebody's heart beating out of their chest during a traffic stop is completely normal. It's expected. There have been police officers in the past. I have seen police officers do this little thing where they call it their lie detector test, and they put their hand on your chest and one hand on your back and one hand on your chest, and they start asking you questions. And of course, your heart's just, and they think that they can tell when you are lying because of your heart rate. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And of course, that's right, Angel. Of course he's scared. He's in handcuffs. I mean, police officers pulling you over, if you're not scared when a police officer pulls you over, there's something wrong. And I've been a police officer for a very long time. I've been an attorney for a long time. I've been doing this on every side for almost 35 years. I was pulled over not long ago, and my heart kind of increased in the number of beats per minute when that happened. Not because I was afraid necessarily, but because it's just stressful when you're pulled over by someone of authority. Of course, your heart's going to be beating. Let's keep watching.
Please don't.
Don't what? Have a seat.
Okay.
Have a seat. I think that your buddy has a gun, so I need you to step into the car.
You think my buddy has a gun?
He's acting funny. Step in the car, please.
Officer,
if you don't step in the car, you're going to jail for sure.
Okay, that's
so
fine,
step
officer.
in the car. So step in the car.
Listen.
I'm done listening. I just told you I think that your buddy has a gun. Now knock it off.
Nothing in there.
I'm just going to say it's going to be pretty embarrassing if this guy doesn't have a gun.
Can you spread your feet just a little bit? Okay. All right, come back and stand with me, okay? You're not going to run from the area.
And here we go with the searching of the car. So I did the little fast forward thing on this video so we don't have to sit here and watch all of the searching of the car. But I wanted you to see to the extent with which this officer searches this vehicle.
How old are you, Montre?
He spends a great deal of time searching the car and discovers nothing in the car of concern, particularly no weapon and no weed.
March 25th, 1995.
You supposed to be drinking in the park there?
Officer, officer, that's just in there, okay? There was no gun, there was no weapon to harm you, officer. We didn't do anything wrong. We stopped at the stoplight. We pulled over when you pulled over. I did everything you asked me to, officer. You thought there was a weapon. There's no weapon. We wasn't doing anything wrong, officer. I'm not sure why you pulled me over. At your rental, everything is fine. There was no breaking taillight or nothing, officer. I did nothing wrong with you.
Okay. He's gone for the night.
Okay, he says. Watch this next little tactic that this officer uses.
How's your day going, officer?
I'm good, brother.
That's good, man.
If I take them handcuffs off you, can you dump out that bottle of alcohol for me?
Oh, I could do it anytime, officer.
Is that good?
Now, I don't know why he's having him dump the bottle of alcohol out. He's of legal age. He can drink. But I do too know why. He's doing it because he wants this boy to know he has the power to make him dump out the alcohol. Cops like to exhort their power on people. And if you don't understand how much power they have, then they want to show you how much power and authority that they have. So if I take them handcuffs off you, I guess maybe you'll dump that alcohol out. Well, yes, sir, officer. I'll do whatever you tell me to do if you're going to let me out of this car.
Yeah, of course it is.
You good? We straight? Okay. So here's the deal. Like, you and I know. I mean, let's start over. Let's root with each other. Did I make anything up when I said the car smelled like marijuana?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on.
Because there was nobody smoking.
Hold on. That wasn't the answer I was expecting you to give. Now listen, let's be straight with one another. I want you to confirm for the video and for my superiors who may watch this later, and maybe an attorney if you happen to go get one, that I really did have a good reason to search your car. I really did have a good reason because I really did smell marijuana, and there really was shake on the ground. And I want you to admit to me, I'm not going to arrest you or anything, but I want you to admit for me that that my suspicions were real. And if you don't do that, watch what he says here in a minute. So if you don't admit that I was correct in my assumptions, then I'll just write you some tickets and maybe you can just go to court and we can fight it out in court. So he's just going to demand that he confesses, basically. Watch these tactics.
Is there marijuana shake on the floor of the car?
Officer, that was cigarette ash, okay? You didn't find no marijuana.
I did. I'm not charging you with marijuana. But here's what. If you want me to be real with you, like I want you to be real with me for a second. Like, did I make that up? You know what I mean? Did I make it up?
I believe so, officer.
Okay, so you want me to just write you the ticket for the stuff that I have to write you tickets for? If you think that I'm lying, then we'll go to court and we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
Or do you want to just be real with me and I'll be real with you?
Wow, officer.
Right?
Wow. What a choice you've given me, officer. So did I make that up about the shake on the floor? Yeah, I really think you did. Well, no, wait a minute now. If you don't correct that on this video where, people that watch this video later will know that I was right and I had all of the authority to do the things that I did, then I'm just going to have to write you some tickets. The tickets that I was going to write you and all the tickets that I can write for you, which so far I calculate as the big goose egg. I calculate 0 offenses he can write a ticket for so far. Anybody else see a ticket he can write? So far, I've got this many.
I would like to pull out my alcoholic reaction to officer. You didn't find anything. We wasn't doing anything, officer.
Okay.
So you're not going to admit that you maybe were around people smoking or something like that?
Officer,
Were you around anybody smoking?
cigarettes.
That's it.
Officer, there's no weed check on the there's no weed check on.
Just give me a little something. Maybe you were around somebody who was smoking marijuana. Just give me a little bit. Maybe you watched a movie where somebody smoked marijuana. Give me something. Give me something. Come on. Jeez. Shame.
On the floor, officer.
Step out.
I'll give this officer an A for effort because he really tried for several minutes to get this kid to admit that he'd done something wrong, even though he found no evidence of wrongdoing anywhere in the car.
Race the car. Go ahead and go grab it.
So just try not to be nervous, and then it won't make us nervous. Okay?
Usually when we see that, with somebody sitting there like that, like there's a gun, right? Where you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, like that's what happens.
Okay.
That's the only reason that happened. Is because like you were just making it seem like something crazy is going on when it could have just been something little as that, or like a bag or something. Like we jump automatically to what?
Yeah, I already know.
Do you have any questions?
No, have a great night.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
I feel like I was missing something.
I feel like I've missed something. Oh, my God. Oh, my gracious. He just absolutely detained this boy for no reason. Never told him why he was being pulled over. Ever. It's cops like this, I swear to goodness. It's cops like this that make me absolutely embarrassed to admit that I was one. When I watch a video like this in the presence of other people, like maybe I am tonight, I'm embarrassed to say that I used to do that job. And it's cops like this that make me feel that way. What a jerk. He's still a cop today. However, they were sued. I will say, just as a teaching moment here, that let me see if I can pull in that. Well, I don't have to pull it in, but there's a Supreme Court case that's called Fraser versus Cupp. It's a 1969 case, and it gives the police the authority to lie. Basically, it gives them the authority to lie in order to make a case or in order to trick you into confessing about a case. And Angel, you're exactly right. So the cops really, really take advantage of that ruling. And I have seen during my, over 2 decades of being a defense lawyer, a lot of evidence of this. I've seen literally, see if I've got one of those handy. No, I don't. I've seen literally a police officer interrogate a young man who was a juvenile, didn't know any better. And the cop came out and said, pretend this is a CD or a DVD. Hey, I've got this DVD, and it turns out that your aunt had a hidden video camera in your room, and we have it all on tape. So I've watched it, and it's pretty incriminating. And if the judge watches it, I think you're going to go to prison for a long time. And so you might as well just admit to us what happened, and let's talk about it. And you can just give me your side of the story. No lie, that worked. This young man just vomited the whole thing and told the cop everything. Yeah, I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. And it was all admissible against him because according to this Fraser versus Cup, they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to lie. They're allowed to make it up as they go along. Now, that doesn't make it right. But that's the way it is in America. Now, I will say this young man did a great job. I would always say never, ever talk to the police. Never answer questions. The questions that this officer began to ask were probative questions and tricky. And what the young man should have said was, I'm sorry, officer, here's my ID. I don't answer any questions. And for every question, so you've been at the park tonight? I'm sorry, officer, I don't answer questions by the police. So, I mean, you know, this shake, I see shake on the ground. Is that shake on the ground? I'm sorry, officer, I don't answer questions by the police without a lawyer. And every single question that a police officer asks you, give him that retort. I'm sorry, officer, I don't answer questions without a lawyer. I don't take any tests or answer any questions without a lawyer. Ever. Because nothing good comes from you talking to the police ever. And I could do a whole video. I have done videos on this. I could do a whole video on why it's important never to talk to the police ever, and how everything incriminatory that you say can be used against you. Everything good for your case that you say can't be admitted because it's inadmissible. So if you talk to the police and you say something good for your case, that's inadmissible in court. But if you talk to the police and you say something bad for your case, then that is admissible against you, and it's incriminating against you. So I could go on, and it's just really important in America for people to understand that they have a right to remain silent, and they need to invoke that early and often. Now, it's Monday. It's a holiday. I wish everybody a great Memorial Day. I hope you guys had a great holiday. I was a little later tonight than expected, but tomorrow we're going to have another good video, and I just would appreciate it if you, I really appreciate you people commenting on this video tonight and being part of the show, but I also want you to like it and share it. And if you'll go over to YouTube and subscribe and hit the little bell, you'll be notified every time we go live. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing yet. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We will be back tomorrow. Remember, stand against the darkness, and I'll be standing there with you. We'll talk soon. You ain't seen nothing yet.